Hello, ladies. It's 3 a.m. You're wide awake again. The alarm went off. You don't need to use the bathroom. You're not worried about anything in particular. You just woke up. And now you're lying there. Your mind starts to race. You're wondering why your body does this to you every single night. If you're in perimenopause or menopause, this is one of the most common complaints I hear. And today I want to give you real answers why it happens, what's actually going on in your body at that exact moment, and what you can do about it, including what hormone therapy can and can't do for this particular symptom. So, why 3 a.m.? Well, let's start with the biology because once you understand it, the whole thing makes a lot more sense. Your sleep cycle is built around a hormone called cortisol. Cortisol naturally rises in the early morning hours, starting around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and it helps your body prepare to wake up. It's part of your circadian rhythm, and that is completely normal. But here's where menopause changes things. Estrogen plays a crucial role in regulating your stress response system. Specifically, it acts as a buffer against cortisol. When estrogen is high and stable, that early morning cortisol rise doesn't fully wake you up. You sleep right through it. But when estrogen drops, as it does in perimenopause and menopause, that buffer disappears. So that 3 a.m. cortisol spike, which was always there, now jolts you awake. Your nervous system becomes more reactive, more sensitive. And then there's progesterone as well. Progesterone has a calming, almost sedative effect. It helps you stay asleep and feel relaxed. When progesterone declines, which often happens even before estrogen does in perimenopause, you lose that sleep sustaining quality. You might fall asleep fine, but you can't stay asleep. Add to this the hot flashes and the night sweats that many women experience. Even if you don't fully wake up from the temperature spike, your sleep architecture is being disrupted. You're pulled out of deep sleep into lighter stages, and that's when a cortisol spike can tip you right over into full wakefulness. So 3 a.m. waking in menopause is not random. It is a predictable result of hormonal changes that are happening in your body and interacting with your normal sleep biology. It's not insomnia in the traditional sense. It is something more specific. And that means the solutions need to be specific too. So, how can HRT help? Well, let's talk about hormone replacement therapy because this is where a lot of women have questions and there is a lot of confusion too. The short answer is yes, HRT can significantly improve menopause related sleep disruption, but it depends on what's driving your waking. If your 3 a.m. waking is primarily driven by night sweats or hot flashes, the temperature dysregulation events, then estrogen therapy is more effective. Estrogen stabilizes the thermoregulatory center in your hypothalamus in your brain. When that settles down, you stop getting jolted awake by heat spikes. Sleep quality improves dramatically for many women on estrogen therapy for this reason alone. But what about cortisol sensitivity issue, the waking that happens even without a hot flash? And this is where progesterone becomes really important. Micronized progesterone, which is bioidentical, meaning it's clinically identical, not similar to the progesterone your body makes, has been shown in research to improve sleep quality independently of hot flashes. It works through GABA receptors in your brain, which is the same system that calming medications target. It genuinely helps you stay asleep. This is one reason why the type of progestogen matters. Synthetic progestins that are found in some combined HRT formulations don't have the same sleep promoting effects. So if you're on a combined HRT and you're still struggling with sleep, it's worth asking your doctor about switching to micronized progesterone specifically. Now, a few important caveats. HRT is not right for everyone. You always need to have a conversation with your healthcare provider who knows your full history. And HRT is not a perfect perfect fix for everyone who can take it. Some women have huge improvements and others see partial improvement. A minority can see little change in sleep specifically if other symptoms improve. Sleep is complex. There may be other factors at play like anxiety, sleep apnea, lifestyle factors that hormones alone are not going to fix. So the bottom line on HRT and sleep is if you're a candidate for hormone therapy and sleep disruption is affecting your quality of life, it is absolutely worth discussing with your doctor. The evidence supports its use for this symptom. Don't dismiss it. So what else can we do? Whether or not you're on HRT and whether you're not waiting for it to take effect, there's a lot that you can do that genuinely moves the needle on the 3 a.m. waking up. These aren't just generic sleep hygiene tips. So I want to give you menopause specific strategies. First, manage your cortisol in the afternoon and evening because now we know that cortisol sensitivity is part of the problem. So anything that raises your cortisol at night makes that 3 a.m. spike worse. This means avoid caffeine after noon. Yes, even if you think it doesn't affect you, it almost certainly does in menopause. Limit alcohol, which fragments your sleep, and it raises your cortisol in the second half of the night. Try not to exercise intensely in the 3 hours just before bedtime. Save intense workouts for morning or early afternoon. Cool your sleeping environment aggressively. Your thermoregulatory system is less stable. A cooler room between 65 to 68 Fahrenheit or 18 to 20 Celsius gives your body less work to do. Cooling mattress toppers, moisture wicking bedding, a bedside fan, these aren't gimmicks. They reduce the thermal triggers that can fragment your sleep. They're very important. Also, consider cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. It's called CBTI. It is not the same as regular CBT. It is a structured program, typically lasting 6 to 8 weeks, and it retrains your relationship with sleep. It has been shown in research to be more effective than sleep medication for chronic sleep disruption, and the effects last. Apps like Sleepio make it accessible. A sleep therapist can also guide you through it. One key technique from CBTI is sleep restriction, which sounds counterintuitive, but it works. You temporarily reduce your time in bed to consolidate your sleep drive. It's uncomfortable at first, but it is very effective. Now, what to do when you actually wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and that matters. The worst thing you can do is lie in bed anxiously watching the clock, trying to force yourself to get back to sleep. Your brain starts to associate the bed with wakefulness and anxiety, and that is going to make your problem worse over time. So instead, if you've been awake for more than 20 minutes, you get up, you go to another room and you do something quiet, low stim, like reading, gentle stretching, light journaling. Keep the lights dim. Don't look at your phone. Return to bed only when you feel drowsy again. This feels wrong, but it breaks the cycle. Now let's look at supplements that have maybe some evidence behind them. Magnesium glycinate, if you take it in the evening, can support relaxation and sleep onset. Doses of around 300 to 400 are commonly used, and it's generally well tolerated and worth trying. Some women find L-theanine helpful for that wired feeling that comes at 3 a.m. Ashwagandha has some sleep modulation effects. It may be helpful if you take it in the evening, but it takes a few weeks to build. Always check with your doctor if you're on other medications. Now, what I would be cautious about is melatonin because it helps with sleep onset and jet lag, but it's not really targeted at that early morning waking up driven by cortisol. It's not harmful at low doses, but it doesn't address the root cause. Address anxiety if that's part of the picture. Many women find they wake up at 3 o'clock, their minds start racing almost immediately, running through worries, problems, to-do lists. This is a feature of elevated cortisol. It activates the alert, threat scanning thinking. If this sounds familiar, you need to address anxiety directly, not just the sleep. So CBTI, mindfulness-based approaches, and in some cases medication or therapy may all be appropriate. Now, let's bring all of this together. Waking up at 3 a.m. during menopause is not random, it is not in your head, and it's not something you just have to live with. It's a predictable consequence of hormonal changes interacting with your normal sleep biology, specifically the loss of estrogen's buffering effect on cortisol and the loss of progesterone sleep sustaining calming effects. HRT, particularly micronized progesterone and estrogen therapy, can be highly effective for this, and it is worth discussing with your doctor if you're a candidate. Alongside that, or independently, if you're not, there are real evidence-based strategies: cooling your environment, managing cortisol throughout the day, CBTI techniques for sleep, breaking the cycle of anxious wakefulness. You deserve to sleep. It's not a luxury. It's foundational to everything else, to your mood, your metabolism, your cognitive function, your heart health. If 3 a.m. awakening is becoming your normal, please take this seriously. Talk to your doctor. If this was helpful, please share it with somebody who needs it. And if you have any questions or topics you would like me to cover, just leave them below. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.